Here are the crypto top headlines covered in this video. Judge grants SEC's deadline extension on Ripple case. Next, crypto industry momentum is picking up and it's unstoppable. Ethereum co-founder Joe Lubin. Also, U.S. lawmakers advance resolution to get banks in on crypto custody. Welcome to Crypto Top Headlines, where there's no clickbait thumbnails or titles and no speeches on my opinions, just bringing crypto's news to you. We are a new channel here on YouTube and would greatly appreciate it if you would click on the like and subscribe buttons as well as the notification bell. It does help support the channel, so thank you in advance for doing so. Now, on to these headlines. Our first top headline, Judge grants SEC's deadline extension on Ripple case. The Securities and Exchange Commission has requested an extension to the deadline to file remedies-related discovery documents submitted by Ripple. Judge Annalisa Torres has approved a request from the Securities and Exchange Commission to extend the deadline for filing a submission that could lead Ripple Labs' case to an end. Court documents filed on March 1st granted the SEC an extension to file its remedies-related discovery materials submitted by Ripple. The extension allows the regulator to file its open brief until March 22nd. The deadline for Ripple's opposition brief has also been extended to April 22nd, and the new deadline for the SEC to file a reply would be May 6, 2024. A remedies-related briefing is a document describing potential legal remedies and actions that could be considered or pursued in connection with the litigation. The SEC's case against Ripple Labs began in December 2020 when the regulator accused Ripple Labs, along with its CEO Brad Garlinghouse and co-founder Chris Larsen, of conducting a $1.3 billion unregistered securities offering through sales of the XRP token. According to the SEC, the token should be classified as a security and thus subject to strict regulatory requirements. Ripple, on the other hand, argued that XRP is not a security and that the SEC failed to provide them with fair notice regarding its classification. The lawsuit has seen numerous developments and legal battles over the years. One significant aspect is the discussion around the Howey test, which is used to determine whether a transaction qualifies as an investment contract under U.S. law. According to the SEC, XRP meets the conditions of the Howey test, while Ripple argues otherwise. In a major development in July 2023, Judge Annalisa Torres ruled partially in favor of Ripple Labs, determining that XRP was not a security in the context of its programmatic sales on digital asset exchanges. However, the judge also ruled that XRP was considered a security when sold to institutional investors. Cointelegraph has contacted Ripple but has not received a response yet. Let me pause here for a moment. If you're getting value out of this video, please click on the like and subscribe buttons as well as the notification bell. Our next top headline, Crypto industry momentum is picking up and it's unstoppable, says Ethereum co-founder Joe Lubin. Ethereum co-founder Joe Lubin told ETH Denver attendees that crypto is part of the next super cycle and we are ready for a new system of the world. Crypto appears to be in a bull market, perhaps not by a technical definition, but most of the attendees at ETH Denver would agree that it sure feels like it. Even Ethereum co-founder and Consensus CEO Joe Lubin believes that things are looking up for crypto, and he's convinced that the best is yet to come. On February 29th, Lubin joined the What Will Drive the Next Supercycle fireside chat moderated by Axios reporter Crystal Kim, and during the conversation, Lubin touched on the current supercycle, whether or not a spot BTC and ETH ETF are good for retail investors, and the more developer-focused community and the growing need for decentralization in multiple industries. When asked what would catalyze the next supercycle, a long period of economic expansion that is typically driven by strong growth in the demand for products and services, Lubin said. We are in this fourth turning, and we are ready for a new system of the world. The other way of thinking about it is that it's a monetary supercycle where the monetary systems of the world reach an end of life essentially, basically because of interest, and there's too much debt in the system because certain generations broke the monetary system and other elements of the financial system. Lubin explained that crypto was born into an era of free money. It was born of an era of constrained money, controlled money, top-down command and control. Essentially, we are for millennia have been living in a paradigm of centralized top-down trust, and its authorities imbue intermediaries with certain powers, and the intermediaries help run the world. They maintain these databases or ledgers that control who owns what and who has rights and privileges. According to Lubin, Satoshi invented decentralized trust as opposed to centralized trust. We'd never seen decentralized trust on the planet before. Are spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs good for the community? Before spot Bitcoin ETFs were approved, crypto advocates and investors had waited more than 7 years for an approval, and while their launch may be the validation stamp that authenticates BTC's status as a sound investment, there have always been concerns that institutional investors could dilute the true vision of Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto. When asked whether a spot Bitcoin ETF and the possibility of an ETH ETF were good for the community, Lubin said, "There are a lot of different issues in there, but in the near term, it's a great thing. The floodgates are open now, and there's an enormous amount of value piling into the crypto ecosystem. The good thing about that is it's going to be hard for regulators and politicians to stomp on people's portfolios, and we're going to see more and more funding come into our ecosystem." Can crypto thrive in the U.S.? Historically, regulators and politicians in the U.S. have taken a pretty firm stance against the crypto industry, and many believe that this has hampered the sector's growth for years. When asked if crypto can thrive in the U.S., Lubin suggested that the decision to obstruct the growth of the crypto industry may not be in the hands of policymakers anymore. "I think the momentum is picking up, and it's unstoppable. The SEC has done some things under the Biden administration that are real head-scratchers. There's an element of gaslighting and an element of unreasonableness in some of the actions that they have brought, and the judicial branch has been wonderful in seeing things clearly and making sure the laws of the United States of America and the Constitution are followed and protected." Lubin ended with, "I look forward to a more decentralized governance in the United States." Our next top headline, U.S. lawmakers advance resolution to get banks in on crypto custody. The House Financial Services Committee has voted to advance a resolution that could overturn the controversial Staff Accounting Bulletin number 121. The United States House Financial Services Committee, or HSFC, has voted in favor of a resolution that seeks to overturn a U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission guideline that has prevented banks from getting in on crypto custody. In a February 29th markup hearing, 31 HSFC members from both sides of the political aisle voted in favor of the resolution, with 20 members voting against it. By overturning SAB 121, the resolution will ensure consumers are protected by removing roadblocks that prevent highly regulated banks from acting as custodians of digital assets, said the House Financial Services Committee in a statement. The SEC's Staff Accounting Bulletin number 121, introduced in March 2022, is a set of guidelines that requires institutions that custody crypto assets to record crypto holdings as liabilities on their balance sheets. Republican Congressperson Mike Flood, the lawmaker who introduced the resolution, said that the SAB 121 was unfair for banks looking to custody crypto, as custodial assets are always considered off-balance sheet, which includes securities and digital assets such as Bitcoin. The ramifications of requiring banks to hold these assets on balance sheet are pretty significant. If a bank were to custody digital assets according to the parameters of SAB 121, the on-balance sheet treatment would affect their other regulatory obligations like their capital and liquidity requirements, Flood added. The resolution was introduced on February 1st by Flood and Democratic Representative Wiley Nickel, who said that SAB 121 went beyond the scope of an accounting bulletin and had effectively become a de facto law. Notably, the resolution still needs to pass a full floor vote in the House and the Senate before SAB 121 is thrown out. Speaking at the markup hearing, crypto-friendly Republican Congressperson Tom Emmer said that SAB 121 was an illegal example of SEC Chair Gary Gensler's unrelenting prejudice towards the digital asset ecosystem. Emmer said SAB 121 introduced unnecessary and avoidable concentration risk into the crypto ecosystem. The Bitcoin ETFs are a great example. Not a single bank provides the custodial services for any of the 11 approved ETFs. This is risky, he added. On the other hand, Democrat Congressperson Maxine Waters, one of the lawmakers who voted against the resolution, said that the move to rescind SAB 121 was an ironic move from crypto-friendly politicians. We often hear Republicans in the crypto industry complain about a lack of clarity from the SEC, but ironically, the resolution before us effectively blocks the SEC staff from providing that clarity around crypto, she said. SABs are not enforceable laws under the SEC's purview. Instead, they are a series of non-binding guidelines used by SEC staff to help companies clarify how crypto firms should account for customer crypto holdings. SABs do not require public notice or comment periods like other, more formal rules. So this concludes our top headlines. If you haven't already done so, don't forget to click on the like and subscribe buttons, as well as the notification bell. Also, leave your thoughts in the comments and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you all for watching Crypto Top Headlines, bringing crypto's news to you.